78 Sports TV here. Salute to the mighty ldbc Lions Den boxing community. For those who don't know, now you know. Smash the like button, hit the subscribe, also hit the notification bell so you'll be notified when I drop a new video. And if you're digging the video, go ahead and share this joint. So I was having a conversation with a friend of mine who's also a Shakur Stevenson fan, and he said to me something interesting. He said, we're talking about the differences between Shakur and Devin Haney. We talked about the old sparring and all that kind of stuff. Everything you could think of, we talked about it. And he asked me a question. Well, no, he made a statement. He said that all the people Devin beat, Shakur would have beat him. And he said Shakur would have beat him better, in a better fashion. So I said, like who? Let's go through them. He said George Kambosos. He said George Kambosos is overrated. He said Devin Haney just beat an overrated George Kambosos. He said Shakur would smoke him. Shakur could easily be undisputed if Shakur would have got that fight. So my question to him was this. I said, Shakur, do you think Shakur would have made the sacrifices necessary to get the George Kambosos fight? Right? Do you think Shakur Stevenson would have been willing to leave Top Rank? If let's say George Kambosos was over at the Zone or PBC, do you think Shakur Stevenson would have been willing to leave Top Rank and take 21% of the overall proceeds or whatever, of the guarantees, take 21% and go over to George Kambosos' backyard in Australia and fight twice, get the short end of the stick twice? Do you think Shakur would have did that? He thought about it, and he was very careful with his answer because he knew where I was going with this. So he said, no, you're right. I don't think Shakur would have took it. Okay, there you have it. Shakur Stevenson is in a position he's in right now at lightweight is because he's not willing to sacrifice the way Devin Haney was willing to do. I've said this a million times before. I didn't like the idea of Devin Haney going over to Australia and giving up what he gave up in order to get the opportunity to fight George Kambosos and fight for undisputed. Eddie Hearn didn't even agree with it, but Devin Haney did. He believed in himself, and he went over there, and he made it happen. Shakur Stevenson would have turned it down because he would have been wasted time arguing about the money, arguing about what he feel like he deserves. Now, I find this interesting that Shakur doesn't want to take 25% from Devin Haney, right? But Shakur Stevenson is on the record, and I got the video. I just don't feel like playing it. It belongs to another YouTube channel. But I got the video of Shakur stating before the Lomachenko fight, Shakur saying that Devin Haney surpassed a lot of people when he became undisputed. And Devin Haney deserves the credit he's getting. He should be respected, right? Because he's undisputed, right? He was saying all this good stuff. So with that being said, if Devin surpassed a lot of people by becoming undisputed, why is Shakur Stevenson with no belt at all, nothing to bring to the table, why is he asking Devin Haney for a 50-50 split for a fight if you really want to fight? And if you acknowledge that Devin Haney surpassed a lot of people, you know why? Because it goes back to what I told you guys before. Shakur Stevenson is jealous of his homeboy. That's all there is to it. When him and Devin was basically on the same level, Shakur had no problem with that. But like in all relationships, sometimes when you start surpassing people, they get upset with you. You know what I mean? They start feeling like, oh, okay. They start attacking you randomly. And that's what Shakur did to Devin Haney. Shakur Stevenson was told by Bob Arum a while ago that Devin Haney and him will be a great fight in the future, right? 140, 147. Shakur Stevenson wants to fight. He's acting like he wants to fight now. He claiming he wants to fight now in the media and on Twitter because he wants to shame Devin Haney. He wants to take away some of Devin Haney's luster. He wants to attach his name to Devin Haney's name. So when you talk about Haney, you talk about Shakur. And it's a clever marketing tactic since Bob Arum and Jay Prince are not really doing a lot to promote Shakur Stevenson at the moment, right? So he got to do all this stuff on his own. So he came up with this clever marketing tactic, but it's also backfiring on Shakur because he's exposing himself for being a cap artist. Like when he went to Devin Haney's party and sent that bottle over with the sign saying sign the contract, and then his own promoter, Bob Arum, came out and said, I don't know what Shakur's talking about. I don't know what contract he's talking about. Yet you still had goofies on YouTube running around talking about Devin needs to sign the contract, some mythical contract, right? So the truth of the matter is this, you guys. Now I'm gonna go. I got some time here. I'm gonna go a few places with this, so y'all just stick around, bear with me. Truth of the matter is this: when Devin Haney made a sacrifice to leave the zone where he was eating, okay, he left the zone to come to a totally new market over at ESPN, right? All the uncertainty. For all he know, Bob Arum could be setting him up. He took a risk, took a chance, a huge chance, and he went over there, beat George Kambosos twice, and then did what Top Rank wanted him to do, which was fight Vasyl Lomachenko. This is a fight in Lomachenko that Devin Haney had been wanting for a long time, but they Top Rank kept Lomachenko away from Devin Haney, for whatever reason. So now he has his opportunity. He takes the fight. He beats Lomachenko. Now he's the A side, right? Prior to beating Lomachenko, there was a lot of hoopla on the internet about Shakur Stevenson, Devin ducking Shakur. So what Bill Haney and Devin Haney decided to do was ask for a 4-fight option with Top Rank, right? So they're on their third fight, their third and final fight with Top Rank, facing Lomachenko. They asked for a 4-fight option for Shakur. Bob Arum wasn't interested. Right? We tried to inform the YouTube public about this, but only few would listen, the wise ones. But the haters, they got their hating system. They didn't want to hear, oh, no, man, Dev don't want to fight. He don't want to fight. But if you remember, right in the post-fight press conference after Haney versus Lomachenko, you saw Devin Haney on the podium when the media member asked him about his interaction with Shakur Stevenson in the ring. Devin Haney told you what happened between him and Shakur. He said, Shakur, he said, I told Shakur, I'm the best. You know what I'm saying? I'm number one. And he said, for now. Right? And the media guy said, well, Shakur, yeah, he's one of the guys who's been calling your name a lot. He's been calling your name. And Bill Haney interjected and said, Bob ain't called his name. Then Devin Haney said, Bob haven't called his name. Bill Haney interjected again and said, Bob hasn't called his name. Guess who was sitting right next to Devin Haney and Bill Haney while he said that? Bob Arum. Bob Arum didn't refute anything that Bill said. Yet these people will still come on here and tell you Bill is a capper. Bill is a cap artist. Bob Arum don't want to make the fight. For one, he think the fight going to be bigger at 140 or 147 if you build it up. For two, he knows Shakur Stevenson is delusional when it comes to the money. Bob Arum also did an interview with Fight Hype that's still on YouTube. He did an interview with Fight Hype, and Bob Arum said one of the media members asked him about making the fights with Devin Haney and Shakur Stevenson and Gervonta Davis. He said, look, it's not me. It's not the promoter. He said, look, I can make Haney versus Lomachenko because Haney was willing to take a reasonable guarantee, right? Once again, sacrificing Devin Haney, right? So he said Haney was willing to take a reasonable guarantee, so it's easy to work with Haney. However, he didn't say no names, but he said these fighters have to be realistic. You can't come in asking for these huge guarantees, and we're probably going to take a loss, right? Now, who's he talking about? Because the only other person that he promotes is Shakur Stevenson. So he ain't talking about Tank. And now we know who he's talking about because Devin Haney sent Shakur Stevenson an offer. He told Top Rank he want to fight Shakur, and Top Rank gave Shakur a 25% offer, right? 25% offer. That's more than Devin got versus Kambosos. And Shakur said no. No, he wants 50-50, which makes absolutely no sense. You don't have a belt. You fought one fight at lightweight, and you think that the undisputed champion is supposed to give you a 50-50 split? That's ridiculous. So now they say today is supposed to be the deadline for Devin Haney to decide whether or not he's going to fight Shakur Stevenson at 135 or he's going to fight Regis Prograis at 140. Well, I'm here to tell you, if everything works out right, Devin is going to be fighting Regis Prograis at 140 to become a attempt to become a two-time champion. Now, a two-weight division champion, as to say. Shakur Stevenson has an offer on the table, but he's not going to take it because he's made it clear he wants 50-50, and he's not going to get it, all right? So not only does Shakur have that offer on the table, he has a new offer, a revised offer, okay, on the table to face Devin Haney, all right? And we'll see if Shakur is willing to sacrifice. And if he's not willing to sacrifice and take less money and do some of the things that Devin Haney had to do, then what are we really talking about here with Shakur? You said yourself, Shakur, that Devin Haney is a legacy fight, not a money fight. That's what you said out of your own mouth. You said Tank Davis is a financial money fight, and Devin Haney is a legacy fight. That's what you said out your own mouth on the Breakfast Club. I believe it was the Breakfast Club. So why are you talking to Devin Haney as if this is some type of Tank Davis fight, or will you think it's all this money in the pot? You know very well this fight is going to have to, if you and Devin fight, y'all going to have to make the bulk of y'all money on the back end. You just got to hope that the fight sells. That's what it is. Bob Arum was not going to give you no huge guarantee. Look at the guarantees he giving Loma. You know what I'm saying? Loma be getting like $2-3 million guarantees. He's not giving Loma no $10 million guarantees and all this stuff. So why do you think, on what part of the planet is Shakur Stevenson finna get some huge guarantee? It just don't make no sense. But anyway, y'all let me know what y'all think. I'll leave y'all with this.
Shakur Stevenson is the one person who continues to say your name. You got into the ring and you guys exchanged some words. What was said there, and do you see you and him crossing paths at some point?
Yeah, I just said that I'm number one. I just let him know that I'm number one, and that's what he said for now. But right now I'm number one. So I didn't.
Bob ain't said his name.
I didn't. Yeah, Bob hasn't said his name at all.
Bob ain't said his name. My phone ain't ringing.
But no, listen. Of course, I've been very vocal about that. Me and Shakur are on a collision course. Whether it's at 135, whether it's at 140, whether it's at 147, we're definitely on a collision course, and we're definitely gonna get it on when it's time.
Where were the lies told? 78 Sports TV. Salute to the mighty LDBC. My body hit old deuces.